Let's compare the Samsung Galaxy S25 versus its flagship counterpart, the Google Pixel 9. So the biggest difference between these devices is going to be in the Samsung software on the Galaxy and the clean Pixel launcher, pure Google from the Pixel 9. The price tags of both of these devices when brand new are very similar in the $800 range, but the Pixel 9 can be found for a lot cheaper now since it was released months ago before the S25. But overall size, the S25 is a more portable device. It's smaller than the Pixel 9. It's also more lightweight, 5.7 ounces versus the 7 ounces on the Pixel 9. I like that. I like the smaller overall, more portable device. So that's a bigger win for the S25. That makes the Pixel 9 feel a lot bulkier. Now for the build quality, both of these are very, very nice. Glass front, glass back, and aluminum frame. Now, both of these devices have a nano SIM card slot and an eSIM, so that's a big plus. It's a tie right there, very flexible. Both of them have IP68, exactly the same at 1.5 meters for 30 minutes. Now, moving on to the display, both have a very fast 120 hertz refresh rate. That's what I like to see from premium devices, for nice and fast and fluid. Screen size, you have a 6.2 inches on the S25 versus 6.3 inches on the Pixel 9, but the bezels are much smaller on the S25, so it looks just more sleeker. You got 1080p resolution on both of these, so very similar there, very nice. And both of these phones have an always on display. Now for the software, again, this is where we see the biggest differences. You have Samsung UI with 7 years of updates on the Galaxy, and the Pixel 9 has also the 7 years of Android updates, and it's a very clean version. But basically, I do tend to go towards the Galaxy S25 on this one because I think Samsung offers more options than the Pixel 9. Unless you like the clean version of Android, you'll gravitate towards the Pixel. Both of these have very powerful chipsets, best in the business. Snapdragon 8 Elite on Samsung versus the Tensor G4 from Pixel on the Pixel 9. Both are very, very powerful. So they'll run all your hardcore apps and games and editing and all that stuff. Both of these internally have 128 gigs of storage, more than enough for most people, but not impressive because even cheap Android free phones on prepaid have 128 gigs and expandable storage, which neither of these devices have. And both of these do have 12 gigs of RAM. So finally, both of these lineups finally start off at 12 gigs of RAM, which is pretty much just future-proofing these devices. That's pretty much overkill, but it's nice to see that on your device. For the camera systems, both of these feature the best of the best in the Android world. The S25 has 3 cameras in the back versus the 2 on the Pixel 9. The Samsung is rocking a 50 megapixel main camera, 10 megapixel telephoto, 12 megapixel ultra wide, while the Pixel 9 has a 50 megapixel main, 48 megapixel ultra wide. The Samsung is rocking an 8K camera versus the 4K and the Pixel 9. Honestly, both of these camera systems are pretty good. The Pixel 9 camera system is probably slightly better in overall quality, but the S25 is no slouch by any means. Both of these selfie cameras are shooting in 4K as well. Bluetooth more advanced on the S25, 5.4 versus 5.3 on the Pixel 9. Now for the fingerprint readers, both of these are under the display fingerprint readers, and the Pixel 9 finally has the ultrasonic, so these are on par with each other. Very fast, very fluid for most people. The Galaxy has that standard Samsung DeX desktop experience, while you're not really getting anything extra out of the Pixel 9. Battery life, very important here. You got a smallish 4,000 milliamp on the S25 versus the 4,700 milliamp on the Pixel 9. Both of these will get you through most of the day, but it's not the standard 5,000 that are available on pretty much every cheap Android phone, so that's a disappointment. Similar charging speeds, mediocre, 50% charge in 30 minutes on both of these with the wired chargers, 15-watt wireless charging, and you get reverse wireless charging as well. So nothing too spectacular on the battery and battery charging speeds. So there was a time I would always go back and forth between what's better, the Samsung experience versus the clean Pixel experience. And for many years, I was in the Pixel camp. I really like the camera system that it rocked. I liked that it had just a very simple interface, very clean. I thought it was faster. But now, over the years, Galaxy phones, Samsung UI has been, it has grown, has matured. It's not laggy, and it actually offers a very clean interface in and of itself. And it offers a lot of options, so it's very flexible. It's just been cleaned up a lot, and I think now I see that the Pixel 9 is not really the best when it seems very, very stagnant, very, very boring. I think the S25 has just so many options built in, and it's fast and fluid. It's very mature now. With that being said, I also appreciate some things on Samsung phones that are just not offered on the Pixel, such as I like having Miracast to mirror my device on Roku's and on TVs, and just having an overall better experience when you want to view pictures and stuff on a bigger screen. I find that the Pixel 9 is very lacking when it's not really be able to be shared on other devices, because both of these have Chromecast built in. The battery life is probably one of the only downsides that I don't like about the Galaxy S25. Other than that, it's just very impressive. You got 12 gigs of RAM now. This really feels like a premium device. The Pixel 9 feels very limited. It has a fast chip, great camera, but I think the software is what is holding this phone back now. I finally came to my senses and decided Samsung has the best operating system. It is the true Android phone, the competitor to an iPhone. It is not the Pixel 9. I think it's overpriced for what you get. And I also think that the Samsung Galaxy S25 is the best 12 gigabyte phone out there if you get an Android phone.